Hi, welcome to day one of your Pilates for Runners 7-day challenge. This challenge today is all about core and abs. It's a perfect place to start because we really want to engage those core muscles correctly because it's essential for Pilates, and as a runner it's essential for maintaining a good running form. Now when we're talking about those core muscles, we're talking about the deep internal stabilising muscles. As runners we can often be really good at the dynamic movements using those big outer mobilising muscles. But really engaging fully through those deeper inner core muscles can be a bit of a challenge. Certainly when I've worked with runners, when they ask them to do just a core activation and then maintain it over a long period of time, they can often start to struggle. That could be one of two reasons. Either they're focusing too much on short, sharp bursts of core strength rather than focusing on the endurance they need. Alternatively, and much more commonly, we're starting to overuse our big mobilising muscles and underuse the deep internal core muscles. So this session, I want you to focus on core activation and maintaining a really good quality move. And by that I mean proper pelvic stability, proper core engagement, and maintaining it over a longer period of time. So go for quality and endurance. So get ready, grab your mats, your 7-day challenge starts here. This session is going to start down on the mat, around onto our tummies. We're going to come into a sphinx position. So we're going to bring our elbows under our shoulders, palms flat to the floor. We're going to slide the shoulders down and lift up out of the neck so we're not hunching round. From here we're going to relax the legs and we're going to pull in that belt muscle, low in the abdominals. From there we're going to draw the tummy away from the floor and up into a kneeling plank. We're going to hold there. And then we're going to lower back down. And again, just drawing in your tummy, only working through the abs. So really engaging core muscles here and then releasing. And if you're able to do that without any strain through your back, so not overworking in the back muscles, not overworking in the legs, you can start to make the movement a little bit bigger by tucking the toes and lengthening one leg and then the other leg. Bringing one knee down and then the other. Try to switch over your lead leg so you're not always straightening the same leg first. And if you're working here absolutely fine and you want to make the movement a bit bigger, you come up into a full plank and then you're tapping the knees down. But remember, go for the quality of the move. So if you start to struggle with your breath or you start to use your lower back instead of your core, then come down, rest, and just come back in at a lower level. If you need to rest at any point, come down, but when you come back into position, come up from this position here. So drawing in the tummy into a kneeling plank first, so you're properly engaged through your core before you start to add your plank. Remember, focus on the quality. So core engaged, breathing nice and even. We're going to do 4 and 3 and 2 and 1, coming up, lowering one knee down, then the other, coming to the floor. We're going to do one more set like that. So shoulders down, pulling your tummy first, draw up. Either staying in this position now if you feel like you're overworking in your back, or lengthening the legs one at a time, or staying up and tapping the knees. Really pull in those lower abdominals. Keep the bottom as still as possible, so keep that pelvic stability. We're going to do 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. The knees come down and then lower down. From there, pushing the hands under the shoulders, coming up. Now I'll give you a couple of options here. We can either do a kneeling plank or a full plank, but the key is to find that lovely neutral spine first. So you've got a soft arch in the lower back, you're not dropping it down, you're not arching it up. Drawing in your lower abdominals to support that position. Walking the hands forwards. Shoulders down. You can either stay in a kneeling plank, we're doing shoulder taps, So keeping the pelvis as still as possible here, not allowing the rocking motion. So focus on that core engagement, focus on that pelvis being as still as possible. If you want to make it harder, you tuck the toes, come out into a full plank, same thing. As still as possible through your centre. So not rocking and rolling. Tap the shoulders. If you need to rest, just come down. Remember, you're going for endurance, so you're better off coming down to a kneeling plank, keeping the quality of the move, and carrying on for a bit longer, than staying here and everything starts to come out of alignment. All right? Remember, make sure you can breathe consistently the whole time. Don't hold the breath. Last two, 1, 2. Now we're going to add in a rotation. So we're going to come up, hand to the ceiling, and then come back. Hand to the other side, and back. So in a kneeling plank, you extend the leg and out, come back, extend the leg. So top leg slides, and again, you want to keep the quality of the move. So lower abs are engaged. Pelvis is as still and stable as you can between each move. You're not allowing the bottom to drop or lift. We're going to do the last 2. Last ones to each side. And then from here, coming down, one knee, then the other, coming around and onto your back. From this position, we want the heels in line with the sit bones, the knees in line with the hips, shoulders open and down away from the ears, and then the lower back, we're just going to rock and roll into that neutral alignment. So flattening the back and then arching it, and somewhere in between those two extremes, settling into position. Hip bones, pubic bone are level. We're going to have one hand on our tummy, the other hand we're going to slide underneath the small of our back. So the thing here is to maintain this lovely pelvic alignment we've created. So we don't want to flatten our lower back into the mat and crush that hand. We also don't want to arch away from that hand. So the pressure should be consistent on that underneath hand the whole time. Same with the tummy. We shouldn't feel our abs doming or pushing out and away. Starting nice and small, we're going to engage those lower abdominals. Lift one leg and bring it to tabletop. Bring it back down, switch sides. So focus on the quality of the move. Focus on there being absolutely no movement in the pelvis. So if you were looking without seeing the legs, you wouldn't see any movement at all. And remember, you can stay here. It's about keeping this quality, about keeping this stillness in the pelvis as you work. If you want to make it harder, bring one leg. See if you can lift the second leg without the back changing position or the tummy doming. First leg comes down, second leg comes down. Always change your lead leg, so you're not always lifting the same leg first. And again, keep that quality. If you've got the tummy still not doming, it's the lower back exactly in the same position as when you first started. Again, if you want to add, leave the legs in tabletop, just tap the feet down. Remember, don't bend from the knee here. All right, you need to hinge the knee away from the hip and back. So you're really challenging that pelvic stability. And if you feel confident, you can start to make the movement bigger and quicker. So taking the foot a little bit further away and moving a bit faster. As long as you can do that without the tummy doming and without that pressure changing on your hand beneath you. Remember, nice big breaths. Lower abdominals connected. We're going to do 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Changing the move, so picking whichever position you feel more comfortable with. Feet starting here or both feet on tabletop. We're going to extend the leg away, flex and stretch the calf, and then come back. extend and flex, and back. The longer and the lower you take that leg, the harder it becomes on your core to stabilize through that pelvis. If you need to, just do one leg at a time. Bring it back, place it down, switch. Okay. So work at whatever level where you can maintain the quality. If you start to get any movement through your back or your tummy, it's time to bring it down and carry on at a lower level. Now we're going to add in a rotation. So we're going to take the hands, place them behind the head and interlace the fingers. Now we're going to lift the head and chest off the mat. And as we extend the leg, we're going to tap the outside of the bent knee. So we're going to rotate and back. Now imagine someone has filled your belly button with water. You want to make sure that you keep all of that water in your belly button. You're not spilling anything. That way you know your pelvis is nice and still as you do this. You're rotating from your upper back. You're not rocking the pelvis side to side. Lower back is exactly where you set it up at the start. Remember, you've got the alternative. So you can do an easier version without extending the leg. Here, all right? Otherwise, if the legs are up, you're still extending. We're going to do 2 and 1, come back, one leg down, then the other, extend and away to stretch, and you are done.